What up guys, it's Dom and welcome back to another movie review. Today we're continuing our grind through the Deadpool and X-Men movies before Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. And we're going over Deadpool. Deadpool, released in 2016, directed by Tim Miller. A wisecracking mercenary gets experimented on and becomes immortal yet hideously scarred and sets out to track down the man who ruined his looks. Let's get right into the 10 essential aspects of a movie. The first essential aspect is plot. Like Deadpool said in this movie.
And yeah, technically this is a murder. But some of the best love stories start with a murder. And that's exactly what this is. A love story.
But at the same time, it is an origin story for one of the more well-known Marvel heroes. And I love the plot. It makes sense why it was about him trying to get his girl back because of all the issues that they had to deal with. But honestly, even though that's the main point of the movie, it was a very small part. You got to see how Deadpool started and what he became and his whole process. And that's awesome because, again, he's in my top two for Marvel. It is Spider-Man and then Deadpool because both of them have one thing in common, and that is the comedy. His is kind of funnier because it's fourth wall breaking. It makes an enhanced film watching experience because it's like he knows that you're there. So I love watching Deadpool. It is one of my favorite movies just because I'm so attached to it. I'm so engaged whenever I watch it, even though I know what's going to happen. I'm waiting for those fourth wall breaks. I'm waiting for all the awesome jokes. Plus, it is an R-rated movie, and you kind of can't have him without being an R-rated movie just because that's his kind of comedy. But I love it. I thought the plot worked well, and I'm glad they didn't focus on that part of the romance part, but they started the movie with it and wrapped up the movie with it, so it flowed well, but I am glad that wasn't the major point in the movie. The second essential aspect is attraction. I mean, obviously, this movie is attractive. It's super entertaining. It is the funniest, or at least one of the funniest, Marvel characters that exist, and it's a superhero movie. You get to see really cool scenes, a lot of action, and a lot of great comedy. So that's really what is most important about entertainment. Plus, there's a lot of scenes that look really good too, which is a bonus on top of it. So yes, 100% very entertaining. The third essential aspect is theme. I guess the theme in this movie would technically be a part of that romantic part of the plot. And that is that if you really love someone, it doesn't matter what they look like. It matters what they have on the inside. That's really the whole point. And that is definitely the theme of this movie. And I thought it worked. The fourth essential aspect is dialogue. Now, this is where I'm going to give this movie an A+. Not even because of the dialogue between characters, because they did do a good job. The funny comedy, the way they bounce lines off each other, it was awesome. But I'm going to give them an A+ because of straight up the whole point of Deadpool. Breaking the fourth wall. Talking to the audience.
They're all lame-ass teachers' pets.
You know I can hear you.
Wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them.
I love that. I thought it was an amazing premise for Deadpool to do that. And yeah, I think they nailed the dialogue. The fifth essential aspect is acting. So I thought the acting in this movie was pretty good. I did like how all the characters were portrayed, but nothing comes close to Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He is the perfect casting. I mean, him in real life, he has a great way of delivering comedy. And he just applied it right to Deadpool perfectly. I mean, the way that he speaks, the way that he acts like Deadpool, the way that he has these conversations with different characters and the audience, it's perfect, honestly. Like, this is the best person to do Deadpool. So, yeah, I don't really feel like I need to mention much because it's not even a hot take. Everyone really thinks so I'm just going to move on. The sixth essential aspect is cinematography. The most cinematic scene in this movie is 100% the opening credits. Because while they're showing who is in this movie, they're also showing one frame of a scene that's going to happen later in. And it's in slow motion. It's kind of rotating around. You get to see this and kind of get a glimpse of what's going to happen and what this movie is going to be like. And I thought it was awesome. And the amount of detail that they put in, showing even the smallest item just kind of whiz by the screen. You're like, oh, that's a reference to this, or that's a reference to that, which I thought was a great choice. And when it comes to emotion, you do feel the emotion that he has for Vanessa throughout the whole movie. So I thought they did a great job with the cinematography. Not as good as Deadpool 2, because when I review that, I'll talk about it then, but they do a great job with emotion in that movie. But cinematic-wise, I think they did well in this one too. The seventh essential aspect is editing. So Deadpool is an hour and 48 minutes long, and honestly, with how much I enjoyed this movie and how much I was engaged with all the characters, I wish it was longer. But that's not a problem. I know that they chose an hour and 48 for the people that aren't really the biggest Marvel fans or Deadpool fans, or just kind of wanted to get to the point, for them to have a good viewing experience. But for someone that loves Deadpool as much as me and that enjoyed the movie so much, even watching this for the 70th time, I still laughed at all the jokes just because it's a funny movie, and that is perfectly in my style. So I wish it was longer, but within the time frame that they had, they paced it well, they knew how to run the story with the amount of time that they had, and they did keep it to that underneath 2-hour marks where the average viewer is glad because it's not getting dragged out. So I think they paced the movie well, and of course, me with how much I liked it, I do wish they extended it a little bit, but I do think they did a good job with the pacing. The eighth essential aspect is soundtrack. Now, I don't even think I have to say this, but they chose a perfect soundtrack. I mean, they chose songs that fit Deadpool's personality and fit the scene that they were playing behind. And even without it, just subtle hints of soundtrack here and there also just elevated the movie. So they did a great job with soundtrack, but honestly, I'm not surprised because they're doing great with absolutely everything with this movie. The ninth essential aspect is directing. So the director of this movie is Tim Miller, and I was surprised to find out this is the first movie he's directed. And it was a banger. So that surprised me because I honestly thought when I checked that it would be someone with experience that knows how to make a movie flow well, that knows how to integrate the story and the characters. But no, this was a first timer. So congrats to you, Tim Miller. You made an amazing movie on your first try. And the 10th essential aspect is time. No doubt Deadpool stands the test of time. It is a fan favorite character. The movie did amazing, and it was an amazing movie to watch. And they made a sequel, and now they're making another sequel. So yes, it definitely stands the test of time. It's definitely one of the better, if not the best Marvel movie. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, onto the reviews. So, the reviewers were very happy with this movie, just as I am. Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it an 85%. Rotten Tomatoes audience gave it a 90%, and IMDb gave it an 80%. Now, I don't know what IMDb's thinking, because it's not an 80. I don't agree with 85 either. And honestly, I think 90 is slightly too low as well. I think that this deserves like a 95. I'm not going to lie. I saw no issues with the movie. Everything flowed well. All the jokes hit. All the characters were honestly presented really well. Even Colossus, I think it's pretty comic accurate too. And same with Deadpool, obviously. But I would not want to give this movie less than like a 93. I just say 95 because there's not many things I can really, even nitpicking, I couldn't really pick out anything that really bothered me too much about it. So yeah, I'm giving this movie a 95. I don't think any of the reviewers are correct. And finally, the rankings. Now, after this spiel I had of reviewing Deadpool, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised where I'm putting this movie. In 2016, it's going to be first above X-Men Apocalypse. It's the same universe. X-Men Apocalypse is a great movie. I still think it's way better than people think it is, but it's nowhere near Deadpool level. Like, not even close. Deadpool is honestly a near perfect movie, so that was not a hard choice either. And now in 2010s, it's also going to be first, and it's going to be above Inside Out. Now, I said Inside Out was a near perfect movie, but I still see flaws in that movie. I don't see many flaws in Deadpool at all. I don't think it even compares. So it might just be me, but I'm definitely putting it at first above Inside Out. And in all time, it's going to be the same thing. Deadpool is going to be at first, and Inside Out is going to be at second, because both of those are really good movies. They should be at the top of the list at where I have it standing right now. So it wasn't really hard to rank it, and I'm sure that wasn't a surprise after how I reviewed it. But either way, that's all I have for Deadpool. If you guys enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to comment what movie you want me to review next. Who else can't wait for Deadpool and Wolverine? I mean, after watching this, I literally can't wait. It is like 2 weeks away. But either way, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace out.